people. You know you're here. You know you want to be entertained in an apocalypse. Come on, sit down. You don't have to sit close together, but if you do, you're not going to catch nothing. I guarantee it. Today on Comic Spot, this is Comic Spot. This is
Okay.
where, yeah, little branding never hurt. It's better than out on the farm when you got branded, right? So this little Army veteran, me, vets out Veterans of Comedy, and today we have Chocolate Storm, Holy Toledo. She is something else. Heard of her through Debbie Wooten Williams, my friend in Portland. We both love Debbie Wooten so much. And her now Chocolate Storm's bio was given to me by Chocolate Storm.
It's
quote.
Research it. I told you to research it.
I did, but I'm going to read your intro. I'm comedian Chocolate Storm, and I see you, and I started comedy in the late 80s and then came back in 2004 till now. She has IMDb credits. I looked at them. She's got a ton of them. And she has produced a comedy series, Who Got Jokes Season 3, and the Stormy Monday comedy season, and mentored and performed with some of the best coast to coast, some of the best. Guys, you don't even have to pay for this. Just sit back, watch the blinking lights. Chocolate Storm, welcome to Comic Spot, girl.
Comic Spot is the bomb.
Hi.
Let me go on and get my little drop in for you. When you think you want to do something, just stop and get on with the Comic Spot, okay? With Linda, that's my little drop.
I love that. Thank you. Holy Toledo. Talk to me about tell me about where you were born, how you were raised that made you so incredibly funny on stage.
I was raised in Illinois, and I moved to California when I was 19, and then I moved to Long Beach, California when I was 21. And that's home to me. So I was born in Illinois and raised, but I became a woman in California.
Wow.
That's where all my mother credits are, my coochie credits are, my lover girl credits are, my sweet thing credits, my educational, my nursing credits, my social work credits, everything. I am California.
Wow.
I'm just funny.
Did you ever meet Snoop Dogg?
Indeed.
That's so cool.
Indeed. Well, I'm much older. I'm 60, so my brother and my sisters are younger, and they all went to Poly. I was grown when I got to Long Beach. But yes, I know him, and I know his wife's dad. We were good friends. Yeah.
Super. Wow. How neat is that to know him?
Yeah, Warren, G, Nate, Dog, all of them. Domino. I know all of them from, the late, great Ricky Harris, who gave me, he gave me, DL gave me the microphone, but it was Ricky's room. So, yeah.
When did Ricky Harris pass?
So 2000, I want to say 2016, maybe 17. Yeah.
Sad.
Very.
So you grew up in Illinois, and then you really became a woman in California. You're a California lady. Talk to me about getting on stage and getting SAG credits. I want to hear going from Illinois to California and having SAG credits and meeting all these people and being on. Take me through this, please, Chocolate Storm.
Actually, I'm also a domestic violence advocate. I'm a SART team supervisor. I'm a rape survivor myself. So I deal with a lot of organizations. When I left Illinois, I planned my getaway from my older kid's father from 81 to July when I left. So moving forward, I was 21, but I came here to do good for my kids and raise my kids, not to end up in like bad situations that I was in. So what I did was I was surrounded by positive people. You know, my best friend Bridget, who's still my best friend, she's the cousin of my husband. You know, she was a good girl. She worked and she's like my best friend. And then my friend Betty. And, you know, I had good friends and I took classes. Okay. I worked. I started working for Long Beach Press Telegram, phone sales. And while I was on the school to become a social worker, I worked a sex line for a long time.
Oh, how fun was that?
And I had to stop and that's how I discovered the comedians, because one famous comedian, I don't want to say his name, I just want to let that be out there. He was in a hotel and he called the sex line. He's like, what's this? What's the deal with this on this card? What is this? I said, it's a girl line. It's a party line. You want a party? He's like, party like what? I said, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to talk about. And then he's like, I'm getting cut off. I said, well, just call me back. And then he called me back. I put him on private and we talked for a long time. He's like, so we can talk about anything on this line? I said, yeah. What kind of panties you got on? I said, I'm not wearing any. You know, so there was a famous comedian. It was two of them. One is alive and one is deceased. Let's put it that way. But the one that's alive is very big as well. And just respect to the family. I don't want to, you know, but yes. I was invited to a comedy show in Hollywood at the Comedy Store. And that night I met a lot of comedians. I was like, wow, I could do that. But I didn't do anything that night. So fast forward, my husband came from the Gulf. He and I went to a friend of ours had a club. His name was Al. It was called Birdland West. Actually, it was T.K. Kirkland's room. No, it was Ricky Harris's room. And T.K. Kirkland was there for a while, but D.L. Hughley was emceeing that night. And he talked about my husband so bad because he was a big guy. He's like, you military? You know, military got in free. And he was just talking to my husband, and my husband had like this African chain, and he's like, "Ooh, you're a big warrior," you know. So anyway, he was like, "So that's your wife? That's a lovely hairdo she got. What you do, ma'am?" I said, "I'm a nurse." And he's like, "Oh, you a nurse?" I said, "Yeah, I'm studying to be a social worker." I said, "But I can do that." He said, "You can?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "I give you 3 minutes up here. You can come up here." I said, "Yeah." And I took the mic, and that's what happened.
Wow.
3 minutes. 3 minutes. Yeah.
Amazing. And you've gone around the country doing comedy. Can you speak to me about the highs and lows of what you've experienced going around the country?
On this side of the water, I'm like Aretha Franklin. I ain't went to Germany, not to tell jokes, but I've told jokes while I was in Bahamas. You know, highs are, you know, that laugh. You know, you're a comedian. The highs is just being there. And I love, my heart and soul is producing. I love production. I love to produce shows. Bless you. I love producing shows. That's kind of, I just love that. I like shows with a cause.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And I'm a hell of a fundraiser. Oh yeah, domestic violence, animals, women's shelters, toy drives. I do it all. I do it all. You know, and I love it. You know, you'd be surprised how many people come out and show up. So that's a high for me. Being on a good show and just really, you know, getting that laugh, what we going for. That's a high for me. The low The low for me, the low for me, I think I wish that women comedians stuck together like men. I guess that's kind of a low, but not really a low. It's high too. So I just wish that women.
I wish so too. I'm with you.
Yeah, would get along. I've performed with some great, oh my gosh, some of the great comedians. Oh my God, where do I start? Uh, my mentor, late great Ronaldo Ray. I learned a lot from him. And Tony Fruition Spires, I gotta really give them a shout out. They were some great mentors for me early 2000s, you know. Miss Laura Hayes, oh my God, I gotta give her a shout out. That's my sister. I love her. She taught me a lot and she's a great support. We did a video about a song I wrote. I usually do it before I get off stage. It's called Come and Get Your Son. And it's just a little comedy skit where I'm angry at a mother-in-law saying, come and get your son. And we did a video. I thought I sent you the video to watch.
You did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was produced by Laura Hayes.
Wow.
Yeah, we did that in my house, believe it or not.
My goodness sakes. So you've done stand-up. You've been the host of a radio show or two in LA. You want to touch on that part of your career?
Can you repeat yourself, honey?
You were also on the radio in LA.
Yeah.
Tell me about how fun that must have been.
Oh my God, LA Talk Live. And it was called the Storm Watch Radio Show. It was myself and David Raybon every Friday afternoon. I started interviewing some good comedians, but it was cut short due to health reasons. I had to cut it short. And so I kind of passed the torch to another female comedian, showed her how it's done. I had paid it up for a couple of months and I let her do the radio show, set her up, showed her how to do everything. And I don't know, women just don't stick together. Anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, but it was it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. So what would you say has been the secret to you lasting in the comedy world?
Secret to me lasting? I don't know.
Just being funny.
Well, yeah. Let's see. There's been some ups and downs, but I've never, I go do comedy, I spend money, at the establishment. I respect the light. I'm a respectful person with the light. I respect the house. I don't charge people. I basically get on stage and talk about me. Hey, I'm comedian Chocolate Storm, and I go in, whatever I'm going in. I can go in on, the DJ, that's enough, DJ. Y'all remind me to thank him later. I just open with something, and just go into my set. I talk about my kids. Women know about that. I talked about lately, for the last 10 years, I talked about menopause. I'm hot when I'm supposed to be cold. I'm cold when I'm supposed to be hot. And I'm wet when I'm supposed to be dry. I'm dry when I'm supposed to be wet. I don't shave my legs no more. My husband smoked kush. He could eat through the bush because I'm not shaving. I talk about how to make me feel bad because I ain't like I used to be. My titties don't sit up here like they used to be. They more. I said, well, shit, your shit don't sit up no more either. They drop too, So I talk a lot about my husband, and he just sit and shake his head. I talk about my kids who had a nerve to say I ain't a good mother, and I'd be like, screw you, you ain't a good kid. Remember that time you walked in the door without knocking? no, I had your daddy's dick in my mouth, but what you walking the door for? So that's kind of like about as dark as I get. And yeah, I just talk about basic stuff. Some people's comedy is like 1-2 punch, 1-2. I just talk about that
That's
stuff.
beautiful.
Menopause.
There's
If
a
I'm in
lot
a
to
if
talk
I'm in a
about.
room, yes. If I'm in a room where it's understood, because I did try to do a menopause joke and it didn't go off too well with the young girls. So I turned around and I said, well, just a couple in here. I'm talking to you guys. Fuck them. Your day will come. And I'll sing a song to them, let them know, like our day will come. No, your day will come. I said, I once sat where you sat, and an old sweaty nurse told me, just live, honey. You go through it. I said, oh, no, not me. I said, so your day will come. So yeah, that's kind of what I talk about.
That's beautiful. So
Yeah.
tell me about your SAG being an actress, please. Hear this.
Whew, I have done a couple of stage plays. I love live stage. Love it. Okay. Mama Christine, Color Girls at the beautiful Long Beach Coliseum. I did it once at a church. Uh, Who Hear the Cries of Our Son? I did that stage play 3 times. Um, I did one woman show. I mainly like commercials, but I directed a show called Good Jobs Thanks. Good Job Thanks. That's where the IMDb credits come from. It was just a skit show. Yeah. But, I was with Bohemian at the time, uh, entertainment. So I got my SAG by doing that.
Wonderful.
And
What's
my
your
producer credits.
wow? So what's your favorite thing that you accomplished and favorite moment in all your career? Like, oh my gosh, I still can't believe I got to share the stage or talk to or meet or get a picture with, that kind of stuff.
Wow. I can't believe in my career that I got my first dream was to be in the same room with Laura Hayes and Ronaldo Ray at the same time. And it was at my function. It was my toy drive. And in fact, that's the last time they physically saw each other. Uh, a high for me as far as performing. Oh my God. I've I've got a chance to meet so many great comedians, and they've thanked me because I put money in their pocket. So,
Totally.
yes, and I paid pretty good.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, um,
That's the way
so
to do it.
that's really important to me. I've never hired a comedian, and any of them can tell you. Joe Torre. I mean, I don't think many people have Joe Torre's bank account number. I do. My well, not Rolodex. They don't call it Rolodex anymore. I'm old. I'm showing my age. The gray works. My Rolodex is thick. I've had Cool Bubba Ice come from New York. You coming to do my show for real? And he did, and he slayed it. Oh my God. Being a part of the first women's convention that Hope Flood gave, that was really interesting. That was nice. We had a nice big luncheon, and that just felt so good to be a comedian, you know.
Yes.
Um, the Bay Area Black Comedy Festival. I mean, it was just I don't know. I got a lot of areas where I feel good. I've opened for a lot of comedians and hired a lot of comedians. So, you know.
You've done it. You've been out there doing it.
Well, I did. I had surgery. I've been on, like I said, I was already shut down before the pandemic because I had two surgeries in 10 months. I had a patient to fall on me. So I had nerve surgery and they wanted to do surgery on my back, but no, thank you. I passed.
You
I
know better.
passed.
You said you were a nurse, so you know enough about it to know if you want it.
Well, yeah, and physically, I know enough about it. Yeah, yeah. I was in, uh, excuse me, excuse me. I don't know. I sneeze.
Bless
I
you.
was a, thank you. I was a nurse aide, and then I went to nursing school, and I didn't like being a nurse, so I continued, and I was a social worker,
Beautiful.
which I love because I love helping and making things good for people. You know,
So in social work, you help them find places in the community that can help them.
I'm a case manager, which means a discharge planner. When you come to the hospital, it is my job to come around as an advocate and make sure that your needs are being met. Things are being documented correctly. You're receiving the right medicine. Upon discharge, I'm there to make sure that your mother is comfortable. She has rails to hold on to, or she has a shower chair for the bathroom. She has a non-stick, non-slip pad. I'm the person that makes sure all of that is ready for Miss Johnson, or let's just say that's what I do.
Wow.
Promote safety and good health and mental stimulation, and I do all of that.
And so, since you're also a survivor, like I am, of physical abuse, when you're releasing somebody at the hospital and you have a gut feeling they're going back to an unsafe environment, but they're not telling you, how do you handle that? That must be really hard.
I often, if it calls for, if the hospital, if it where I'm working and it calls for me to do a home uh, wellness visit, I'll do that. But uh, if it's an unsafe environment and that patient wants to go home, the only thing I can do is give them resources and my card and do a follow up with them after,
I
to
get it.
to determine, because some things look a certain way and they're not. That's why I don't work with kids, because I'm afraid I might remove the wrong kid from the house. I don't do that. I don't even work pediatrics
Got it. I
because my heart
understand.
is too heavy for kids.
Oh, tell me. Yes.
Yeah.
I
So yeah.
cry. I cry when I see a mother at the store being overly rude, because I can imagine if they're doing that in public, what are they doing in private?
Well, I don't know about mother being rude to her kids. I know about one saying, "You better stop." That's me. I don't.
Yeah.
Some people call it rude. Some people call it abusive. No, it's neither. Cause I had some big boys. My boys are big. I had to. My baby boy is 28. He's been in the war and everything. I remember when he was 16, he said something to me, and I wait right good till he got his big old self in the shower. And I kicked that door in. I would listen for him to cut it off. And I went in there with that belt. And I said, "What? What you say?" And I went in with that belt. But when the towel dropped and I saw how big, I ran out. I said, "Oh, that's the only thing saved him is his towel accidentally dropped." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh my gosh. What do you want to? My last question on this first interview of many to follow. I want you back on. You're
Oh.
inspirational and funny. So my last question today is, let's say we know it's safe tomorrow. They have a cure. We don't need a mask anymore. Let's say it's tomorrow. We can go do whatever we want. and we all have $1 million to go anywhere and do anything with anybody, what would you do? Where would you go? Who would you go with if you could tomorrow?
If everybody was given $1 million stimulus,
Mm.
where would I go and what would I do with it?
Mhm.
Baby, I would probably open up my own comedy club, and I'd open my own skating ring, and I'll try to save all of our young people by giving them a place to go. Like we had skating rings and different things, and it'll be really nice. I'll have adult night, I'll have teen night, I'll have little kids night, and it'll be a place so beautiful. And I'll have good food, not a bunch of rock good stuff. Pizza, I have good pizza. It'll just be a family-oriented place.
Oh.
And then I open a comedy store, a club where grown people can come and do their thing. You know, I love that.
I would love to see more females have comedy clubs.
I love that. I used to want to own my own club, like Shake Your Booty, but not now because I don't understand the music, Linda. What does it say? I understand Temptations and Baby Come Here and Let Me Love You and Let Me Lay You Down and Show You How Precious You Are. I like stuff like that. Now the music says humma 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 hum hum humma hum. I don't know. It gives me a headache for real. So
Yes.
that's what I would do. Of course, I give me a house somewhere and help. I would help. I would continue to fundraise for many nonprofits, include my own Heal Through Laughter. I
Wait a minute, you have a nonprofit named Heal
My
Through
husband-
Laughter?
Yes, my husband does. Yes, and so far we've done 2 events since we've had the 501c3. But I moved here on grandma duties, and I'll be going back home and pushing it more. I'm a great fundraiser.
Yeah.
I love it. I'm good at it.
Well, you believe in the causes, right? So it makes it easy to push it.
Indeed. Indeed. And another high note was meeting Robbie Reed, the film director. I went to her house to a picnic, and that's where I met everybody. Magic Johnson, I met everybody, some of everybody. You name them, I met them.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a high. But yeah, that's what I would do.
Will you come on in August sometime and tell us stories?
Whenever you want.
The minute I get off, I'm going to send you a couple dates for you to pick in late August. I want you back.
I'll probably be in California then, but no problem.
Yeah.
I'll be happy to.
Wonderful. Well,
Yeah.
I best go because it costs me per minute with a
Yes.
T-Mobile hotspot. I can't have Wi-Fi where I'm at.
Okay, you got it. And
Thank
what's
you.
the name of it again? The comedy?
Comic Spot.
This is comedian Chocolate Storm. I just been interviewed by Linda on the Comedy Spot. Come on in and join her. See you guys next time, comedian Chocolate Storm. Peace.
Peace. Love you. Bye.
Everybody's talking